Hello everyone. In our mains test series program, the next test is you have the topics of geography, environment and disaster management. So in this session, we will be having a general analysis of the types of questions or the topics that is frequently touched by UPSC in the previous year examinations. So we have taken the last 10 years question paper. In this last 10 years question paper, we will go through the different questions that have been asked by UPSC from the different topics or the different words given in our syllabus. So the purpose of this session is that you will get a general idea where you should focus on, where you should prepare more, or what type of questions are being asked by UPSC in these three subjects. Okay, so we'll be starting with geography. So geography, if you quickly go to the syllabus of geography, like in the notification, you can see 3 paragraphs are given for the syllabus of geography. In the first paragraph, it is given only a single line or a single sentence which mentions regarding the salient features of world's physical geography. In the second line or second paragraph, it is mentioned regarding the distribution of key natural resources across the world, including South Asia and the Indian subcontinent, factors responsible for the location of primary, secondary and tertiary sector industries in various parts of the world, including India. In third, we have the important geophysical phenomena such as the earthquake, tsunami, volcanic activity, cyclones, etc., geographical features and their location, changes in critical geographical features including water bodies and ice caps, and the flora and fauna and the effect of such changes. If we go through these 3 paragraphs, the first paragraph, it is given like it is just very confined, the syllabus is given in very few words. Salient features of world physical geography. For the prelims examination, you might have studied regarding the climatology, oceanography, geomorphology. So all such things, all such topics that we have studied are included in few words in the first line or the first paragraph. In the second paragraph, it's more specific. The UPSC is going to ask regarding the distribution of key natural resources across the world, including South Asia and Indian subcontinent. For example, UPSC may ask about the coal, how the energy resource coal is distributed around the world and also in India. They might ask about iron. So the various resources that are available, that are required for us for the growth of our economy, their distribution will be asked from this part. Then factors responsible for the location of primary, secondary and tertiary sector industries in various parts of the world, including India. For example, iron and steel industry. If you are considering iron and steel industry, UPSC might ask to check whether you are aware about the factors responsible for the location of iron and steel industries in India. They might ask about the location of iron and steel industries in India, why it is located in that regions. They might ask about the involvement of the growth of the IT sector in different parts of the country. So they will be checking whether you know the reasons or the factors responsible for the location of the primary, that means food sector might be asked, secondary, manufacturing might be asked, tertiary, the service sector might be asked. So regarding these things. And finally, it asks, like the syllabus is dealing regarding the important geophysical phenomena such as earthquakes, tsunamis, volcanic activities, cyclones. So these earthquake, tsunami, volcanic activity, cyclone, these things are happening around the world every year. So you can expect some questions that is related to the current affairs. For example, frequently or recently we had an earthquake in Morocco. So they might ask about the Moroccan earthquake or like basic things regarding the earthquake. Also geographical features and their location. UPSC have a habit of frequently asking regarding the location of the fold mountains of the world. So how aware you are about the location of the various geographical features including mountains, plateaus, rivers, etc. And most importantly, changes in critical geographical features including water bodies and ice caps. Okay, for example, if you consider Himalayas, what are the changes occurring in Himalayas? They might link it with the changes occurring in Himalayas due to tourism. So such type of questions can be expected along with water bodies and ice caps and their changes in flora and fauna. That means a bit of biodiversity will be also included and what are the effects of such changes. So this is the syllabus. So by going through the syllabus, you should prepare, like when you are going through the topics, you should prepare regarding, if you are studying regarding a particular phenomena, you should be studying the mechanism of the phenomena. You should study the cause, you should study about the challenges, you should be studying regarding the effects, and if it is an issue, if you are studying regarding an issue, you should also studying the solutions. In case you are studying regarding the resources, the distribution, you should also study regarding the scope and potential. Okay, so these points are very important. When you make notes, mark these keywords. Okay, you should be focusing on the mechanism, the cause, the challenges, the effects, the solutions, scope and potential. Try to make 5 points each from all these topics based on their cause, their challenges, their effects, their solutions, and also the scope and potential. So what we are going to do is, I have divided the previous year questions. I have taken the last 10 years of UPSC mains questions and I have divided it as per the syllabus. Okay, we are not going from the top to bottom. Instead, we'll be going from the bottom to the top. That means we'll be dealing with the important geophysical phenomena such as earthquake, tsunami, volcanic, etc., volcanic activity, cyclone, etc. And the questions asked from these portions from the year 2014. Okay, for example, in 2014, we had a question regarding tropical cyclones. Tropical cyclones are largely confined to the South China Sea, Bay of Bengal and Gulf of Mexico. Why? It was a 10 marker. The question is basically dealing regarding the distribution of tropical cyclones. If you know the conditions for the formation of the tropical cyclone, you know which all regions that conditions are met, which all regions that cyclones can be found. And also all these water bodies, if you see, these water bodies are having or are present on the eastern side of an ocean, of a landmass. For example, South China Sea is lying to the east of Asia, Bay of Bengal, east of India, Gulf of Mexico, east of North America. So, like regarding the location of the tropical cyclones, they are being asked. Okay, so and you must be knowing when you are writing a geographic answer, if you are having a chance to draw a map, draw a diagram, you should go for it. So here you have the option for showing these regions by drawing a world map and showing that they are on the tropical margin, they are on the tropical eastern margin of a continent, and you can also see why, you can also write the conditions why these cyclones are focused or concentrated on the tropical eastern margin. Another question, if you go to 2021, we had a question regarding the landslides. So differentiate the cause of landslides in the Himalayan region and Western Ghats. So Himalayas, a favorite region of UPSC. Western Ghats is also a favorite region. So in this particular question, they have clubbed the both. Okay, you need to write, like during that year, we had the landslides in Kerala, in Idukki region, and also some landslides in Himalayas. So they have combined the both. So you need to differentiate the cause of landslides in Himalaya and Western Ghats. Like Himalaya, we know it's a young fold mountain. Western Ghats is basically escarpments, and we know the age of both the land masses, and we know Himalayas are comparatively loosely packed, loose soil compared to Western Ghats. So you need to compare the causes of landslides in Himalayas and Western Ghats. Similarly, in 2021, we have another question. Mention the global occurrence of volcanic eruption in 2021 and their impact on regional environment. That means in this particular question, UPSC is so specific regarding the volcanic eruptions that occurred in that particular year. So it's very important to go through the geographical phenomena, geographical occurrence, geographical events of the last year, 1 year. Let it be earthquake, let it be volcanic eruption, let it be tsunami. You need to have an idea regarding which all region faced the major earthquake, volcanic eruption, etc. And you should have at least 5 examples. Okay, so this type of question can be asked. So it's regarding the global occurrence of volcanic eruption in 2021. You cannot answer the first part of the question unless you know the volcanic eruption that occurred in that particular year. Okay, and also their impact on regional environment. This part you can answer if you have a general idea what will happen after a volcanic eruption. But for the first part, you should have a specific data. So prepare the specific data of this 2023-2024 year regarding the earthquake, volcanic eruption, all tsunami and all such geographical phenomena. In 2022, there was a question again regarding cyclone. That was regarding discuss the meaning of color-coded weather warnings of cyclone-prone areas given by Indian Meteorological Department. Sometimes you might have covered in this particular topic in the disaster management paper. So the Indian Meteorological Department is giving cyclone warnings, and it's based on a color code like into orange, red, yellow. So you need to give a detailed account of this color-coded weather warning. So not only regarding the particular phenomena, they can also ask regarding the mitigation of that particular portion in geography itself. Okay, so if you are preparing it for disaster management, that would be good, but be prepared that such questions can be asked. If we go to the next topic, that is the geographical features and their location. In 2014, we had a question regarding why are the world's fold mountain systems located along the margins of the continents? Bring out the association between the global distribution of fault mountains and the earthquake and volcanoes. Even though this question is regarding the distribution of world fault mountains, the inner crux of this question is regarding the plate tectonic theory. The plate tectonics, the tectonic plate boundaries, how it results in the formation of mountains, how it results in the formation of earthquake, how it results in the formation of volcanoes. If you look at the second question, explain the formation of thousands of islands in Indian Ocean and Philippines archipelago. These islands are again formed along the convergent boundary of the Pacific plate. Again focusing on the plate tectonic theory and the plate boundaries. So, from UPSC, it's very important to study the plate tectonic theory, the plate boundaries, the landforms formed along these plate boundaries. Okay, so it's very important to study the plate tectonic theory, the basic principle, the plate boundaries, what are all the plate boundaries, which of the boundaries are converging, which of the boundaries are diverging, and what all landforms are formed along these boundaries. Like what fold mountains can be found in which region, earthquakes can be found in which region, volcanoes can be found in which region. So such type of questions regarding the plate tectonics can be asked. And in 2021, recently we had a 15 marker, briefly mentioned the alignment of major mountain regions of the world and explain their impact on local weather conditions with the examples. So briefly explain the alignment of major mountain ranges. So you need to pick 5, 6 or 7 mountain ranges which you consider major, and you need to show the, regarding the alignment of these mountain ranges and their impact on local weather conditions. For example, if you consider Himalayas itself, you get a lot of points regarding the impact on local weather conditions. So you need to pick the major mountain ranges alignment. So fold mountains, their location is frequently asked by UPSC. So it's important to know the major fold mountains, also study the block mountains. So study the major mountain systems of the world, their location, learn to mark them in a map, that is very important, and also have some 2-3 points regarding their impact or their influence on that particular region. The third heading, perhaps the most important heading or the most favorite heading of UPSC, that is the changes in critical geographical features, including water bodies and ice caps, and in flora and fauna, and the effect of such changes. So in 2014, you can see a question, bring out the relationship between shrinking Himalayan glaciers and symptoms of climate change in the Indian subcontinent. Himalayan glaciers, Himalayan cryosphere, that's again another favorite point of UPSC. So here it is asking regarding the relation between shrinking Himalayan glaciers and symptoms of climate change. How the shrinking, like the shrink of the Himalayan glaciers can be connected with climate change. Okay, and also like change in the Indian subcontinent. So it's like you need to connect it with the global warming, climate change along with the melting of the glaciers. That is the question, that is the 10 marker that you need to hit. In 2015, you have another question. India is well endowed with fresh water resources. Critically examine why it is still suffering from water scarcity. So in the paragraph in the given syllabus, it is specially said including water bodies and ice caps. So these two topics, the water bodies, the ice caps, there are changes in happening to these particular water bodies and ice caps, their effects, their challenges or their after effects, their impacts, everything are frequently asked. So here again, it's asking regarding water scarcity. You can see that India is having a lot of freshwater resources. Still we are having an issue of water scarcity. Why? Then if you look at the next question, the states of Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand are reaching the limits of their ecological carrying capacity due to tourism. Critically evaluate. Here it is asking regarding the ecological carrying capacity. It can be related to the GS3 paper, but it was asked in GS1. So you need to say, you need to mention regarding the regions of Jammu, Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. Again the Himalayan region. These Himalayan regions, we have a lot of tourism over there. Due to the tourist activity, we have a lot of constructions, you have a lot of littering. All such issues are affecting the ecological carrying capacity. It is almost reaching the saturation point of the Himalayan region. So you need to critically evaluate that particular thing. Again, asking about the Himalayas. 2016, again a question regarding Himalayas. The Himalayas are highly prone to landslides. Discuss the cause and suggest suitable measures for mitigation. Okay, we already had a question regarding Himalayan landslides earlier. So again, the landslides of Himalaya are being asked in 2016, and you need to suggest the suitable measures of mitigation. Again, you can connect with the GS3 paper. Okay, so within this 3 years, we had a lot of questions from Himalayas. Then you can see the effective management of land and water resources will drastically reduce human miseries. Explain. Okay, if you are having land and water resources, we are not using it effectively. If we are using it effectively, that can reduce the miseries, human miseries. So how we can, like, why it is not effectively used? What is the reason for the non-effective use of water management of water and management of water and land? And also, how we can effectively manage that? If you are effectively managing it, what will be the outcomes? So that is the question. So land and water resource, again water resource being asked. Same year we had another question. In what way micro watershed development projects help in water conservation in drought prone area and semi-arid regions of India? Again regarding water conservation. So it's regarding the micro watershed development projects. So how this project is going to help or is going to provide a solution towards the drought prone and semi-arid regions of India. So again regarding water management. In 2017 we had a question, how does the cryosphere affect the global climate? Cryosphere means the glacial region, the ice capped region, the ice covered region. Again regarding ice covered region. Then 2018, what are the consequences of spreading of dead zones on marine ecosystems? In marine ecosystems, there are some regions due to the increased pollution or maybe increased ocean acidification. Due to all such reasons, we are having some regions within the ocean where we are having very less biodiversity or the biodiversity is reducing. So, what are the consequences of such dead zones? Then, in 2018, we have yet another question. Ideal solution for depleting groundwater resource in India is water harvesting system. How can it be made effective in urban areas? So here it is regarding the depletion of groundwater resource. We had questions regarding water resource, but this particular question is more specific. It is regarding the groundwater resource. Okay, so it is saying that how groundwater resource or depleting groundwater resource can be replenished by the water harvesting system and how it can be made effective in urban areas. Okay. So again regarding water stress and water management. In 2019, we have the question regarding assess the impact of global warming on the coral reef system with examples. So here the question is regarding coral reef system. Okay, how global warming is going to affect the coral reef system. So we can include the points of coral bleaching and the various things and the destruction of the corals, and you can also mention the significance of corals also. In 2019, they asked about corals. They also asked about mangroves. Okay, discuss the cause of depletion of mangroves and explain the importance in maintaining coastal ecology. Again, regarding a coastal region question, so it is regarding mangroves. So, in all these questions, you have the possibility of drawing a map. So, whenever you are making points for your mains notes, when you are making like breaking down these topics and when you are making notes, always prepare the ready-made map for it. For example, if you go through this question, consider this one. Discuss the cause of depletion of mangroves and explain the importance in maintaining coastal ecology. So usually if you are thinking about the drawing a map for this particular question, usually a candidate would think like we can draw a map which shows the mangrove distribution in India. Isn't it? That's what we think. We can draw a map that shows mangrove distribution in India. That's fine. Like we can draw a map showing the mangrove distribution in India. But we can add more details to the map. The question is regarding the cause of depletion of mangroves. And we need to write about the importance in maintaining coastal ecology. Okay. So, in the map itself, you can mark the cause. For example, if you are marking a map, okay, if you are marking this particular region, the Kutch region, we have a lot of mangroves. So here you can mark the Kutch region that shows Kutch region is having mangroves. In brackets you can write high salt water intrusion. Or suppose if you are marking the Pondicherry, Puducherry region, you can mark deforestation. Right, Pondicherry, which you can mark deforestation. So similarly, if you are marking different parts of the mangroves and if you are mentioning the causes or for depletion of mangroves in that particular region, that would add more flavor to your answer. Okay, so whenever you are making a note, like along with the note, try to draw the map there itself and try to bring different dimensions in the map. Okay, so whenever when an aspirant sees a question or when we think about a particular question, we think like when we know it's a question from geography or environment or disaster management, we think about drawing a map. So we will be hooked to the first point that we see where I can draw a map. If the question is regarding earthquake, yes, I will draw the seismic zone map. If the question is regarding Himalayas, I will draw the map and show Himalayas. But you need to change your map according to the demand of the question. Like here, you can draw the cause of depletion in the map itself. Okay, so next question, what is water stress? How and why does it differ regionally in India? Here, you can show the regions of India which are water stressed, which are highly water stressed, which are less water stressed. You can again demarcate by drawing different shades. Okay, so try to make some innovation in the map, not at the time of examination. While making the notes itself, try to make multiple maps, try to innovate and bring like new maps. Okay, so the question, what is water stress? How and why does it differ regionally in India? So again, regarding the water stress, okay, already we had a question regarding water scarcity. Here it is regarding water stress and how does it differ regionally in India. So it is very important to study the definition of water stress, water scarcity, such terms, cryosphere, such terms. You should have a standard set definition which would help you to write the introduction or some other part of the answer. Okay, so what is the water stress and how does it differ regionally in India? Then next question, how can the mountain system be restored from negative impact of development initiatives and tourism? Again, here in this particular question, they have asked about Himalayas and tourism. Here the question is more generalistic, asking regarding the mountain ecosystem and tourism and development initiatives. So UPSC is basically like here and there we can see the repetition of the question, even though that is not the exact question they are repeating, but the content or basically the crux of the question remaining the same. If you look in 2020, we had a question, the process of desertification does not have climate boundaries, justify with examples. Okay, so desertification is not only based on the tropical western margin or not only based on the surroundings of the desert region. What is desertification? So it's very important to know basically the definition of desertification. Okay, so when we define desertification, usually some might say desertification is basically a region turning into desert. Desertification is not actually a region turning into desert. Desertification is basically the drastic decrease in biological productivity of a region. It is the drastic decrease in biological productivity of a region. So if you want to consider a region to be desertified, it need not be completely transformed to desert. If we have a fall in the biological productivity, if you have a fall in the biodiversity of a region, it is undergoing desertification. And you know that according to the UNCCD report given by India to UNCCD, like around 27% or 30% of India's land is facing desertification. So here the question is regarding desertification is not having climate boundaries. So you need to focus on regions that is facing desertification, that is out or falling away from deserts. Okay, and you can also mention the reasons for desertification and also the solutions, how to overcome the green walls, all such things. Again, 2020, another question regarding Himalayan glaciers. How will the melting of Himalayan glaciers have a far-reaching impact on the water resource of India? Here, the Himalayan glaciers is connected to the water resource of India. Like we know that Himalayan glaciers are melting due to the climate change. How it is going to affect the water resource in India? Water resource in India, which include the rivers, lakes, or the groundwater, all such things. What is the impact of the melting Himalayan glaciers with this water resource? Again 10 marker, again Himalayas, again water. Then 2021, what are the environmental implications of the reclamation of the water bodies into urban land use? Explain with example. Here the question is regarding reclamation of water bodies. The lakes, the marsh, all such things have been reclaimed. Like the urban stress, the stress on land have been increasing. So for getting more land, people are basically leveling or basically reclaiming these water bodies. So what are the environmental implications of such reclamation? And you need to explain with examples. So again, water bodies. How will the melting of Arctic ice and glaciers of the Antarctic differently affect the weather patterns and human activities of Earth? Explain. Here, you need to mention regarding the melting of Arctic ice and Antarctic ice and how they are going to differently affect the weather patterns. You might have read about the jet streams, the polar vortex, all such things, and also you can include the ozone hole. All such things can be included in this particular question. In 2023, we had a different dimension. Discuss the consequence of climate change on the food security in tropical countries. So it is indirectly asking how the climate change is affecting the agriculture, how the climate change is affecting the food allied sectors of the economy. Okay, especially in tropical countries. So you can consider the case of India and you can think in that particular manner. Then, why is the world today confronted with a crisis of availability and access to fresh water resources? So why there is a crunch to the availability and access to fresh water resources? That is the question. So it includes, like, it's not only regarding the loss of water bodies or the availability of water is less. The other factor that you can include here is the pollution. Pollution is also a case, like whatever water we have, it is now become unfit for use. So all such things. So if you look at this particular heading, that is the changes in critical geographical features, number of questions, almost every year we have one or question, two questions from this particular part. Like in the recent years, from 2018 you had 2 questions, 19 4 questions, 2020 2 questions, 21 2 questions, 23 2 questions. So you can expect 2 questions from this part, and UPSC is frequently asking regarding the ice caps, glaciers, Himalayan glaciers, water bodies, water stress, water scarcity. So note down these points regarding the Himalayan glaciers, their impacts, the causes of the melting of Himalayan glaciers, their impacts, what are these possible solutions. You can relate the degradation of the Himalayan regions due to development activities, tourism, like repeatedly asked. Then what is water stress, what is the water scarcity, have general points regarding the reasons for the water stress and water scarcity, what are the government initiatives in that course, and how we can overcome, what are the possible way forward. And you can relate the water stress and water scarcity to rivers, other freshwater resources, and also groundwater. Groundwater is very important, study regarding the groundwater depletion also. And also impact on climate change on various sectors. Here they have asked regarding food security. Okay, they have also asked regarding the vegetation. Like one year they have asked regarding vegetation. So impact on climate change on various sectors. That note should be also made. So here very important to make notes regarding the cryosphere, Himalayan glaciers, the Antarctic and Arctic glaciers, freshwater resources, water scarcity, water stress, urban water bodies, or the usage of land, that is also important. Okay, next heading you can see distribution of key natural resources across the world including South Asia and Indian subcontinent. So if you look at the distribution of key natural resources, in every year you can almost see one question, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21, 22, 23. Every year you can expect 1 or 2 questions. So distribution of key natural resources, if you look at the type of questions being asked, 2014 we have a question, critically evaluate the various resources of the oceans which can be harnessed to meet the resource crisis in the world. Like in present day we have the concept of a blue economy. So UPSC is hinting about blue economy. So they are asking, like, we are having some stress for the resources, how this stress can be handled if you are focusing more on the resources from oceans. Then how does India see its place in the economic space of rising resource rich Africa? Like maybe during that period the resource in Africa was getting in news. So the question was regarding how India can get into the economic space to utilize the resource in Africa. In 2015, economic significance of discovery of oil in Arctic Sea and its possible environmental consequences. Like Arctic region, we have been focusing more on Arctic region. So in 2015 there was a question regarding what will be the economic significance of discovery of oil resources in Arctic and the environmental consequences. 16, we had the South China Sea issue, the cow tongue issue, that was like the South China Sea 7 dot issue that was regarding the islands being claimed by China. So question was regarding South China Sea has assumed great geopolitical significance in the present context. Comment. So even though it seems to be an IR type of question, This has been asked in GS1. So you should be focusing more on the geographical factor or the geographical side regarding the exclusive economic zone that China is going to get, drawing of the map showing this region, showing that region that is claimed by China. So give more geographical approach in such type of questions. In 17, in spite of adverse environmental impact, coal mining is still inevitable for development. Discuss. So how coal is important for India's development, how coal is important for India's economy, how coal is supporting the energy sector of India, 2017. Then 2018, again regarding Arctic region, why India is taking keen interest in the resource of Arctic region, like regarding the observer status that we had in Arctic Council, or regarding the draft Arctic policy we had, why it is the reason that we are showing the keen interest in resource of Arctic region. Like we have a lot of reasons. The research purpose is there, the exploration of mineral purpose is over there, and it is important to have our presence, because to become a geopolitical strategist, we should have our presence. So all such things you can include in the 2018 question. In 20, again, account for the present location of iron and steel industries away from the sources of raw material by giving examples. Like the UPSC knows that iron and steel industries will be studied by every aspirant, but they are asking about the iron and steel industries away from the source of raw material. Iron and steel industry is basically a weight losing industry. So most of the industries will be kept near the source. But here they are asking about the iron and steel industry away from source. We have some iron and steel industry in southern part of India. In Visakhapatnam is there. So like they are asking about such iron and steel industries which include the minor iron and steel industries. Then India has an immense potential of solar energy through their though there are regional variation in its developments. Elaborate. So here, UPSC, from here, earlier UPSC have asked about coal. From 2020, you can see a switch towards the renewable energy resources. So you can expect questions regarding India's potential or distribution of renewable energy resources in India. Maybe solar, maybe wind, maybe biofuel, or even nuclear, regarding the nuclear reactors that is present in India. So such type of questions can be asked. So you can expect one question regarding the distribution of resources, that especially focusing on renewable energy resources. If you look at the 2021, despite India being one of the countries of Gondwana land, its mining industry contributes much to the less of the GDP in percentage. Discuss. So you should be having an idea regarding India's drift towards the Eurasian land. India is being a part of a Gondwana land. Gondwana land is rich for coal and other resources, but India's mining industry is not contributing to the GDP. Discuss. Then again, multi-dimensional implication of uneven distribution of mineral oil. Again, question regarding mineral oil, and it is, you know, that it is unevenly distributed. So what are its implications? So again, question regarding oil is being asked. 2022, the resource potential of Deccan Trap. Direct question. Like if you are having an idea regarding Deccan Trap and what are the resources over there, what are the mining taking place over there, you can answer this question. And 2022, you can see another question regarding wind energy. Examine the potential of wind energy in India and explain the reason for their limited spatial spread. Again, potential of wind energy, potential of solar energy, because our future comes in this renewable energy. So they will surely ask regarding the scope of wind energy, solar energy, tidal energy, wave energy, or blue economy. All such things are expected. So when you are expecting regarding the things that is important for our future, for our country's future, please make note on the scope and potential of that particular point. Okay. So potential of wind energy and reasons for their limited spatial spread. Okay. So I'm not going through the points. I'm not going through the structure of the answer, because what we are going to try is, what I'm trying is to give you an idea regarding the points or the topics from where UPSC are asking questions, or the types of questions they are being asked. And 2023 again, comment on the resource potential on the long coastline of India and highlight the status of natural hazard preparedness in this area. Again, resource potential of long coastline. So, when you read the newspaper, when you have gone through the current affairs, you might have gone through some of the points, some of the resources that our Indian government is trying to focus more for the future. So, make points on that particular topics and make specific points on the scope and potential and also the current status. That would be helping you to write a good intro or conclusion. Okay. So these are the questions from the distribution of key natural resources in Indian region. Then the next topic, factors responsible for the location of primary, secondary and tertiary sector industries in various parts of the world. In 2014, again, account for the change in the spatial pattern of iron and steel industries in the world. Okay, so that particular iron and steel industry should have come here. So, like that particular question of iron and steel industry away from the resources, that should have come out of this topic. That was a mistake. Okay, account for the change in spatial pattern of iron and steel industry in the world. In the global level, why there is a how there is a change in the spatial pattern of iron and steel industry. For example, you can see the countries like Japan, where we are having very less iron ores, is one of the major iron and steel producing country. They are importing it from the countries like India. So such changes have been asked in 2014. In 2017, again, petroleum refineries are not necessarily located near to crude oil producing areas, particularly in many of the developing countries. Explain its implications. Again, this question is dealing regarding India. Like we know that India is not one of the largest producers of petroleum or crude oil. We have few crude oil crude oil producing regions like the Bombay High, the Digboi region, etc. But still, we are exporting a lot of refined oil. We are importing crude oil, we are refining it and selling it back. So that is a developing country. So if you know the Indian context, you can answer this particular question. In 2018, significance of industrial corridors, again straight question. Identify industrial corridors, explain their main characteristics. So what are the different industrial corridors in India and what are their characteristics? Then 2019, that's a good question. Can the strategy of regional resource-based manufacturing help in promoting employment in India? If you are focusing on regional resource-based manufacturing, will it help to promote the employment in India? Like you should have an idea regarding the regional resources of India, how it is distributed, what are the potential of manufacturing in different regions of India, and then related to the employment. Then factors for localization of agro-based food processing industries of Northwest India. Factors for localization of agro-based food processing industries in Northwest India. Northwest India, Punjab, Haryana region. Factors for the localization of agro-based industry. Punjab, Haryana region is rich in agriculture. Why? Thanks to the Green Revolution. So, whether you are able to connect these points, okay, this question is straight away hitting some of the points like the Green Revolution occurred there. So, whether you are able to hit those points, that is what being checked. In 2022, describing the distribution of rubber producing countries indicate the major environmental issues faced by them. Rubber producing country, majorly the equatorial and the tropical nations. So, what are the issues, major environmental issues faced by them? So, if from this particular part, factors responsible, these questions like you should have an idea regarding the location of various sectors, various like maybe let it be manufacturing, let it be primary, let it be second, tertiary. You should have an idea regarding the location of the various sectors of these industries and in India at least. And if you have that general idea, most of the questions are answerable. You can answer it. If you look at the agriculture, soil and vegetation, it's not given explicitly in the syllabus. I have made a separate topic. Agriculture, soil and vegetation. In 2014, whereas British planters had developed tree gardens all along the Shivaliks and the lesser Himalayas from Assam to Himachal Pradesh, in effect, they did not succeed beyond the Darjeeling area. Explain. So, you should have an idea regarding the what are the requirement of the for the tea cultivation, what are the ideal conditions for the tea cultivation, and what is the condition of Northeast India. That is very important. Then, why the Green Revolution in India virtually bypassed the eastern region despite fertile soil and good availability of water. So, I told you in 2017 we had a question. Here, the question is asked openly, why it happened in the northwestern part of India. So, when you are writing all these, give more focus on the geographical perspective. 2017 mentioned the advantage of cultivation of pulses, because of which the year 2016 was declared the International Year of Pulses by United Nations. So 2016 was International Year of Pulses, 2017 you had a question regarding pulses. So next year you can expect a question regarding cultivation of millets. Okay, so regarding millets, you should be studying regarding the what are millets, what are the conditions for the required ideal condition for the cultivation of millets, different types of millets, distribution of millets in India and the world, advantages of millet cultivation, challenges of millet cultivation, government programs for promoting millet cultivation, what are the solutions for improving or increasing the millet cultivation. Make these points, you can expect one straight question. 2018 question was regarding blue revolution. Blue revolution means cultivation of fishes. Explain the problems and strategies of pisciculture and pisciculture development in India. Okay, blue revolution and problems and strategies. Examine the status of forest resources of India and its resultant impact on climate change. So, they are asking about the status of forest resources in India. If you have gone through the India State of Forest Report 2019, it's a biennial report. In 2019, we had a report. If you've gone through that, you should have answered that question, and you are also supposed to write the impact of climate change. Again, in 2023, we had questions. Identify and discuss the factors responsible for diversity of natural vegetation in India. Again, regarding the vegetational diversity of India, they are asking regarding the factors responsible for that. And assess the significance of wildlife sanctuaries in rainforest regions of India. So, you need to focus on the wildlife sanctuaries on the rainforest regions of India, which include some part of Western Ghats, Andaman Nicobar, the northeastern regions. Okay, so and also the factors responsible for the diversity of natural vegetation in India. It includes climate, it includes the rainfall, it includes the temperature, it includes the topography, all such things. Then if you go to the salient features of world physical geography, I have again divided into climatology, oceanography, and all such things, all such topics. So from climatology, we had some questions, like it's not regularly asked. In 2014, we had a question regarding most of the unusual climatic happenings are explained as the outcome of El Nino effect. Do you agree? So you need to say what is El Nino, what are its impacts. Then 2016, question regarding air mass and its role in macroclimatic changes. What are air mass? Direct question, and how it affects the climate. Then 2017, what characteristics can be assigned to monsoon climate that succeeds in feeding more than 50% of world's population residing in monsoon Asia? So what are the characteristics of monsoon and how it helps in feeding, that means how it is helping the agriculture of these regions. In 2022, again a straight question. Troposphere is a very significant atmospheric layer that determines the weather process. How? We know that all weather phenomena in Earth is taking place in troposphere. You need to give the definition for all such things. Then from oceanography, explain the factors responsible for the origin of ocean currents. How do they influence regional climates, fishing and navigation? Ocean currents, the factors responsible for the ocean currents, their impacts on climate, fishing, navigation. Straight question. This question was again repeated. In 17, it was regarding ocean water salinity. They asked regarding the variation in ocean water salinity and its multi-dimensional effects. What are the effects in variation salinity? You can give the latitudinal variation, regional variation, vertical variation, all such things. Then 2019 again, how do ocean currents and water mass differ in their impact on marine life and coastal environment? Give suitable examples regarding ocean currents and water masses. 2022 again ocean currents. What are the forces that influence ocean currents? Describe the role in fishing industry in the world. Exact repetition of 2015 question. So ocean currents is an important topic. You can expect questions, and also ocean water salinity, another important topic. You can also expect questions from submarine physical features. They can mix the plate tectonic theory and the submarine physical feature and ask. So have an idea regarding that also, and also go through the continental shelf and submarine features in Indian Ocean as well. Like we have the Sunda Trench, we have the various ridges, the various islands, such thing also. From geomorphology, how does the Juno mission of NASA help to understand the origin and evolution of Earth? So it's regarding the evolution of Earth, like how Juno mission was a mission to Jupiter. So how Jupiter, studying about Jupiter is going to help study regarding the evolution of Earth, current affairs of that particular time period. 18, mantle plume and its role in plate tectonic theory. We know that plate tectonic theory is largely based on the convectional current theory. So mantle plume is related to that. You can give the figure for the mantle plume. And also 2020, a straight question regarding the characteristics of circum-Pacific zone. Circum-Pacific zone we also call as the Pacific Ring of Fire, where you have the presence of almost major volcanoes, major earthquake potential region, all such things. So you need to give the geophysical characteristics. It's a converging boundary along the Pacific plate. You can also draw a map and show the Ring of Fire. Characteristics and types of primary rocks, straight away from the NCERT. Okay, from the NCERT they are asked about the types of primary rocks. And 2023, it was a factual question. an unexpected question or a surprising question that was regarding the fjord. Why do they constitute some of the most picturesque areas of the world? Fjord is basically a glacial erosional landforms. Glacial erosional landforms formed along the mountains that are found near to the ocean. So when the glaciers flow, they make some deep trenches through which the sea water inlets to the river. So there are fjords. So from this year, you need to have a basic understanding regarding the fluvial, aeolian, glacial, sea waves and karst topographies. You need to study regarding the exogenic landforms. Okay, so this type of question, like this was asked for the first time, such a type of question, but be prepared for the next year, like go through the important exogenic landforms and also study 3 or 4 examples of each type of landforms. If you are studying regarding like mushroom rock, just go find 2-3 examples regarding where these mushroom rocks can be found. So such type of questions can be asked. And if you go through the Indian geography, you can see Mumbai, Delhi and Kolkata are the 3 mega cities of the country, but the air pollution is much more serious problem in Delhi as compared to other 2. Why is this so? We know that Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata are the 3 mega cities. Mumbai and Kolkata are coastal cities. This particular Delhi is on the continental interior. Presence of Himalayas, extreme cold winters, all such reasons you can give. In 2015 again, how far you agree that the behavior of Indian monsoon has been changing due to humanizing landscape? Discuss the impact on human activities on Indian monsoon, that was asked. In 16, the question was regarding Indus Water Treaty. Present an account of the Indus Water Treaty and examine its ecological, economic and political implication in the context of changing bilateral relations. So there was an like India-Pakistan issue, like maybe due to that reason that question I have asked. Then 2016, another favorite area of UPSC, enumerate the problems and prospects of the inland water transport in India. That means inland navigation, inland water transport. The straight question regarding problems and prospects. Then major cities of India are being vulnerable to flood conditions. Discuss. So regarding flood, urban floods more importantly. In 17, again we have a question regarding flood. In what way can floods be converted into suitable source of irrigation and all weather inland navigation in India? Again mixing with inland navigation. So flood means overflow of water. India is a country, on one side we are having a flood, other side we are having water scarcity. So how can we use the regional disparity of water? How river interlinking can be helpful in this case? So that is the major crux, river interlinking. In 2018, why is Indian Regional Navigational Satellite System, IRNSS, which was in use during that time, needed? How does it help navigation? 2020, again urban flooding. Account for the huge flooding of million cities in India, including the smart one like Hyderabad and Pune. Suggest lasting remedial measures. Urban flood, again significant thing. Why is India considered to be a subcontinent? Elaborate your answer. Why India is considered to be a subcontinent? We are itself is a separate plate, Indian Eurasian plate, 3 sides covered with water. You know all the things. Straight question. 2023, again a question on monsoon. Why is southwest monsoon called Purvaya, easterly in Bhojpur region? How has this directional seasonal wind system influenced the cultural ethos of the region? So why southwest monsoon is called as easterlies in Bhojpur region? Because Bhojpur region, the Bay of Bengal branch is taking a leftward turn, that thus turning into an easterly one. Okay, so from Indian monsoon, you can expect questions from the Indian geography, you can expect questions from the Indian monsoon, and also the rivers of India, you can expect question, and also the floodings in India, you can expect the question. Rivers, important, very, very important. River interlinking, all the projects that is taking place with relation to rivers, you should go through that, have notes of that. Then we have some questions regarding the human geography, regarding migration, population, rural-urban integration, transportation. In 2015, smart cities in India cannot sustain without smart villages. Discuss the statement on backdrop of rural and urban integration. Okay, how smart cities needed the backing of smart villages. That's it. 2018, mention the core strategies of for the transformation and aspirational districts in India and explain the nature of convergence, collaboration, competition for its success. So, strategies for transforming the aspirational districts in India. Okay, the development regarding city-based development. 2019, efficient, affordable urban mass transportation. Question on transportation. How efficient and affordable urban mass transportation key to the rapid economic development in India? How transportation is key to the rapid economic development? Then interlinking of rivers. 2020. Interlinking of rivers can provide viable solution to the multi-dimensional interrelated problems of droughts, floods and interrupted navigation. Critically examine. So again, interlinking of rivers, how it solves the various issues, and how it solves the various issues. That's it. Then mention the significance of straits, isthmus, and in international trade. So you must be knowing what are straits, what are isthmus. So we should be knowing the major trade routes. So major trade routes are taking place through the straits and isthmus. For example, if you are considering a trade route from North America to India, if you are considering traveling across the Atlantic Ocean to the Indian Ocean, from Atlantic Ocean you need to go to the Strait of Gibraltar. You go to the Mediterranean Sea. From Mediterranean Sea you go through the Suez Canal to the Red Sea. From there you go to the Bab el-Mandeb to reach the Indian Ocean. So you should be having an idea regarding the trade routes of India, which you can draw in maps and show to answer this question. Then, why did the human development fail to keep pace with economic development in India? You can easily introduce this question by showing that India is the 5th largest economy in the world and India's rank in human development index is very low. So, why? So, like more than bringing the social perspective, should be able to take the different human development factors, why it is not succeeding in India or why it is not improving in India. Okay, so these are the geography questions. So like UPSC have been specifying some topics here again and again. So from salient features of world physical geography, from geomorphology, you can expect questions regarding Earth's interior, plate tectonic theory and the plate tectonic boundaries, important. From oceanography, you can expect questions regarding the submarine physical features, ocean currents regularly asked, impact of ocean currents on the surrounding regions. Then from climatology, again the temperature variations, and also you can also expect questions regarding the air masses and such things. Distribution of key natural resources, focus more on renewable energy resources, their distribution, their scope, their potential. Then location of the primary, secondary, tertiary sector, go through everything. And important geophysical phenomena such as earthquake, tsunami, volcanic activity, have a clear-cut idea regarding the tsunami, volcanic and cyclonic and earthquake activities that happened in the last 1 year. Make 5 or 6 examples and make a note or the reasons for the occurrence of these particular phenomena in those regions. Then most importantly, change in critical geographical phenomena, study about the ice caps, glaciers, study about the water bodies, focus more on the Himalayan regions, the Himalayan landslides, all such things. Himalayan glaciers, Himalayan region, Himalayan rivers, you can expect one question frequently asked. So this is the topic of geography.